I would love to talk about your album, Pride Before the Fall. What would you say is the overall theme of the album?
They come in three parts, really. There's a spiritual element to the album. Certainly there's a political, and there's a deep social concern for the tides that have taken hold of our Western world, you know. I like the spiritual aspect because it kind of acts as the mortar between the bricks. So you can give a you can give a pretty hard-hitting song, a pretty edgy song that has a cutting message like Pride Before the Fall or Thought Police, and you can soften it up with some hope, a kind of a universal call. You know?
Yeah, I think it's a very relatable album, especially, in today's day and age with all the weird things happening around us.
No kidding, huh? Yeah, and thank you, Jim.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that you got an endorsement from Bernie Sanders for Big Bad Motherfucker. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was, I've got a pretty funny story behind that one. I was listening to YouTube and I heard Bernie ranting about the awful deeds of Wall Street and the big moneyed people. And we were in the studio and we were recording Big Bad Motherfucker. And I ripped it off the internet and I slammed it into the song. And I thought, wow, this really works. This is great. Yeah. So a couple of months go by and I get to thinking about it. I'm thinking, well, we actually have to release this and we need to ask Bernie first. So I get on to my manager. And my manager gets onto the office of Bernie Sanders. And they get back to us in 15 minutes, and they go, where can we hear the song? So Kerry sends them the web address. And they get back to us in another 15 minutes and go, we love it. Thank you so much for using it, Bernie, in this song, and so forth. But it was pretty funny, but it was completely spontaneous in the studio. That's why I made that call.
Well, it's awesome that, he got to hear it and he loved it.
Yeah, no, that was at the time. This was when Bernie, before his run for presidential candidacy, he was, at that point in time, just a very outspoken progressive Democrat, senator of Vermont. So, I like to think in a way that we were definitely rooting for Bernie in your last elections, but alas. But yeah, no, that is completely cool, and we were blown away.
Yeah, would you say there's a certain band or artist that inspires you to write the type of lyrics that you do? Because I know some bands, they might kind of shy away from any political message for whatever reason, but is there anyone that kind of spurred you to take this route in music?
There's actually been a handful in, I guess, more contemporary hard rock music terms. Definitely Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yeah, they're good ones.
A little further back in time and moving over to the UK, the Sex Pistols.
Oh, yeah.
Their Nevermind the Bullocks album is a brilliant anti-establishment album. And it stayed with me. I mean, I didn't get around to writing anything like that for another 20, 30 years, but still, it sticks in your unconscious, And there have been other works, too. 9 Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole is a great track that rails against the establishment and the well-moneyed people, I guess. There's 3 anyway. I could go on for way too long.
There's a lot, but those are 3 good ones. So, what do you guys have going on right now? Any plans to tour or release more singles or music videos?
Yeah, the tour plans would be a little premature on that front. We're just trying to see. We have what I've dubbed to be called the 4-piece release. In other words, we're taking our album, we're breaking it into 4 sections, and on a month-by-month basis making it available to people to purchase or, hang out at the website, maybe grab a T-shirt or whatever. But we've just run we're 3 weeks into the part one with the three tracks, the first three tracks of the album. On, I believe, March 20th, we're going for number 2. The next month, we're number 3. The next month, number 4. And so we're planning to do a record listening party in May, combined with a live acoustic performance at a room called the Orbit Room here in Toronto. And yeah, that'll be the beginning of the new beginning, really. When it comes down to recording stuff, we've got probably another good album, even if we don't come up with another idea in between now and then, that's ready to be recorded. But you kind of have to get this first bunch over with before we take that broader look into the future, right?
That's fun. So the listening party you said will be in Toronto?
Yep, Toronto, Canada. That's where we're stationed currently. And yeah, the Orbit Room's a beautiful little room, classic place. All kinds of music, world music, jazz music, R&B, rock music. It's beautiful and a nice place to play.
Yeah, I've heard wonderful things about Toronto. Unfortunately, I haven't made it there, but being in Boston, I'm not that far.
we have to change that, Jen. You need to come to Toronto and check out the scene.
I do.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm tempted. I'll have to try to see if I can make it for the listening party.
That would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome.
Definitely a good reason to get me over there, across the border.
Yeah, it's a good excuse, and it comes with. I mean, the food up here is unparalleled. You will eat, drink, and be merry, and hang out with us. And come on, that's a cool.
I'm sold. I'm definitely sold. Awesome. And is there anything else that you think people should know about Iron Age Mystics? What kind of sets you apart?
I think in this day, I mean, I'm kind of riffing on the feedback that I'm getting back about the album from people who are in the business, so they know what they're talking about and can approach it from a more objective lens than I ever could. I think what's unique about the album is that it is front to back. It's social, political, and spiritual, and for reasons of which I know not what. There don't seem to be that many albums coming out these days that have the same kind of pressing concerns about what's going on in the world today. And as I mean, it was the boys who I worked this album with or created this album with. It was a no-brainer that I mean, rock music, hard rock music, metal music. I mean, it comes with a great deal of power, raw power. And it seemed a waste to me not to put real, meaningful, well-intentioned verbiage, lyrics, in front of all that power. In fact, in this day and age, when I think everybody should be speaking up about what the hell is going on, it seemed like the most responsible thing to do. So I'd say probably, and I'm sure that there are other indie bands who either were or are, pursuing a similar musical route, because now's the time, now's the time. If there ever was one, now's the time.
No, I definitely wholeheartedly agree. Which I think it's refreshing to come across an album that, speaks from the heart and has meaningful lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like to think, and thank you very much for that, by the way, Jen. I like to think, too, that with songs like You've Got the Power and What You're Going to Do About It and Down Deep, 3 more spiritually, socially oriented songs on the album, I like to think that we offer up some hope, as well. At least the beginnings of.
Yeah, definitely. I think you guys hit the nail on the head with the album, and I enjoy listening to it, and I definitely want to spread the word so more people can listen and enjoy.
Oh, we really appreciate that, Jen. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
Oh, my pleasure, Jen. My pleasure. Thank you.